Good afternoon from Europe. Good morning, good evening, guys, wherever you are. 23rd of October 2020, Friday, end of the week is coming. Piotr here is Liteforex Global YouTube channel, and we are going to discuss few intraday levels for the US session. Before we are going to do that, few information about the latest data as well as few warnings. So let's start with Tokyo session. When it comes to the Australian dollar, flash manufacturing PMI 54.2, previous 55.4, services 53.8, previous revised higher to 50.8. So the services were good. We've seen mixing Tokyo session with the downwards European session up, hitting what? Our supply level. So I'm a little bit of the short. Let's have a look how it's going to play out. And it's guys, within what we discussed yesterday, right? It's within the blue weekly zone and within the breakout low candle. I still have one unfilled order higher. Don't forget that you can monitor my activity. Link is in the description. So from the Australian dollar perspective, well, I think that at least 70 should be tested, right? The psychological level. But then also, if you do remember, the second level is around 66, 66.50 based on what we discussed when it comes to the weekly chart. The last we testing 70 and the test of 66.50, 66 that's the last place of the weakness, right? We hold once, twice, third bounce, and we should go higher. I exactly already explained during our previous meeting. So I'm bearish when it comes to the Australian dollar, and that's how the things looks like. Now we've seen very nice upward movement when it comes to the PMI in Europe, especially German flash manufacturing was awesome, right? 58 versus 55 expectations. The services was a little bit weaker, still staying below 50. But anyway, that was definitely euro mover. Unfortunately, as you can see, we were discussing this high and stop count. Unfortunately, and retest of the over under, right? Unfortunately, market didn't get there, right? And especially the candle we've seen previous hour with this upper shadow suggests that finally during the New York session some supply stepped in and we see some move to the downside. So when it comes to the intraday trading, when it comes to the New York session, what I'm looking for the rejection closer to 1870 when it comes to the short side, and I'm going to look from the long side. If we are going to get here towards the London fix, I'm going to watch very carefully the latest weakness, intraday latest weakness towards 1820. I'm talking about this Asian move lower, right? So here it could be some kind of the euro demand, especially that euro is doing well or trying to recover when it comes to euro pound, all right? So we're trying to hold this 90.20. Unfortunately, we didn't hold the weekly open, so the weekly open blue dashed line right now might work as a supply, all right? That's the thing number one. And euro also looks good with euro Aussie. I just jumped in during the earlier hours, and based on this 6-month breakout of the consolidation, right? We have retest of the levels we discussed quite some time, and I'm already trying to hold some longs, and probably I'm going to stay with exposure here. We will see. It's a medium long term perspective here, and we discussed move back at least towards 170, if not higher. So that's euro after good PMI. The thing, there is a small stretch. The next quarter might not be that great. Now, cable. Well, Brexit, of course, in the background, but pound was trying to jump in tandem with euro ahead of UK PMI, and especially the PMI services was weaker than what market was expecting. Important thing is that services are more important in UK than manufacturing PMI, and we've seen move lower. Then there was some rumors from the Macron that less restrict when it comes to the fishing. So we've seen this as a sign of the possible Brexit deal, and pound spiked. Of course, there is a devil always in details. Let's have a look what we are going to get. Now, we hit the levels we discussed, right? So I'm only from the intraday perspective playing the short side on the cable. Congratulations if you are trying to be long ahead of the data, right? If you're playing this particular zone, all right? I've been playing short side. I'm still a little bit short cable, but guys, don't forget that the EU guys got back to London for further negotiations, and we are going to have the finish. It was the timeline schedule 22nd, 25th, and 25th is Sunday. So probably you don't want to have over exposure over the weekend, or probably you don't want to have pound exposure over the weekend, as we might see gap up or gap down when it comes to cable, especially cable, right? We might see because of the second US presidential debate, we might have also the gap up, gap down when it comes to the US indices, and that's what we are going to discuss right here, right now. Well, so we had this presidential debate. This time looks like Trump was a little bit better based on the market comments. That's number one. Second thing, we have like 180 degrees shift, because right now the Democrats are saying that deal is getting closer, and we've seen the Kudlow hour ago saying no, ball is not moving really, right? So there is still some scratches, and probably that's gonna stay as it is. So again, if you are exposed to the market, to the indices, well, think twice. Try to maybe somehow hedge, maybe work with other instruments, because if we are going to get the accumulation of the new COVID cases, and if you are going to get some comments in relation to the relief package, as well as maybe some movements when it comes who is going to be the next president, as the US election night is coming quickly, so we might see the gap up or down also on the indices. All right, so that's very important. With Nasdaq, first 5-minute trading range quite wide. It was like 48, almost 50 points, so something I'm going to watch from the intraday perspective. We are staying below the low of the first 5-minute trading range, but market on the 1-minute charts trying to create something like inverted head and shoulder, especially that from the market perspective, a little bit higher time frame, we have quite good level of possible intraday demand here, right? From my perspective, I would rather wait for the retest. I think there is a not finish the business. We have some level close to 11,500, a little bit below. We tested that yesterday. Congratulations if you are trading upside after our comments, because we were discussing either we trading long this side or we trading short this side, right? I would like, it's Friday. No one, telling me that I have to make the trade, especially that End of the week is coming very quickly. There is only New York session left, so be careful as we are approaching option expiration and London fix, and then only US guys are going to stay. So I'm going to look for opportunities, super good opportunities only, right? So if we are going to see spike down or spike out, that's how I may try to work with the indices from the intraday perspective. That's how I see the things. So overall dollar is doing well, this mixing things when it comes to the dollar, but dollar is overall doing a little bit better. One of the reasons it could be the things related to the yields, right? So that's your homework. Check the yields. Also, it could be related to the data. So lately we got US manufacturing PMI in line, maybe a little bit weaker, 53.3, but the services much better, and it's much more important, 56 versus 54.6 expectations, right? So in that case it's better. Plenty of risk things related to the weekend, so guys, be really careful. You got the euro dollar, Aussie dollar, and cable plus Nasdaq intraday levels. Enjoy and then stay safe over the weekend. Have a good one. See you around. Take care. Goodbye.